My girlfriend tried to push me off a cliff as a joke. My girlfriend, 20/F, is completely crazy but mostly in a good way. Spontaneous is an understatement. Sometimes she goes too far, but I love her for her crazy personality. I, 18/M, am more relaxed and we balance each other out. Two recent incidents really freak me out though, and I need advice. I was driving on the highway with a lot of traffic. We were going maybe 40 miles per hour. She suddenly started tickling me and wouldn't stop when I yelled at her. I jammed on the brake and someone almost hit us from behind. I asked her what the fuck is wrong with her, but she just laughed about it and told me to chill. I said, what would make you want to do that? And she said, just felt like it. Then last Saturday I was hiking with her and I was standing near this steep cliff. I'm usually wary of her because you never know what she's gonna do, even though it's usually just a prank or something. I let my guard down and she went behind me and pushed me towards the cliff, and I swear I almost fell off. She did it hard and I ended up right at the edge. She was laughing so hard. I freaked out and started screaming at her, and I may have been out of line, but holy it. She laughed about it at first, but then she started crying and saying she was so sorry. The next day she started texting me saying that she didn't mean any harm and she just didn't know that I would get so mad at her for doing that. Am I crazy for even thinking about this? Is it possible she's just immature and if I get back with her she'll be different? OP's comments. I just remembered that she told me a story when we first met about how she tricked an allergic friend into eating some nuts and how funny it was. I guess I shouldn't have written that off. Update 1. I've been thinking a lot and I decided that I'm ending my relationship with her. This isn't easy for me. It's hard because I've been with her for almost 2 years, but it's even harder because now I feel a ton of guilt myself as I remembered things that I ignored, and how I was only worried about her after I became the victim. I mentioned that point in the other thread, but I feel even worse about it now. I know I was stubborn in the last thread, but I listened to everyone's advice very carefully. You all helped so much. When people brought up the sadism aspect, it sort of clicked. I don't know if it was stupidity or selfishness, but I didn't think of her that way until this week. I just ignored everything she did. I thought about some memories using this new perspective. I remember early this year her dad got her a job at the front desk at this apartment complex. It's hard to explain this place because it was sort of a luxury place and most apartments aren't like this. But I was there once or twice to pick her up and I remember what the building looked like. There were a lot of older people living there, and right near the entrance of the building there was an elevator which only went up. Then there was the main elevator which was kind of far down a long hallway. She had to call that first elevator down after the person was approved to go into the building. One time me and her were smoking and just chilling talking about stuff. She was laughing to me about how she would sometimes disable the up elevator and pretend it was out of order, and then she'd watch these older/handicapped people walk down this long hallway to get to the main elevator. She got fired pretty quickly anyway because she activated the fire alarm when there was no fire. When they asked her what happened, she pretended that the computer was glitching and she couldn't stop it, but they believed she did it on purpose, so they fired her. I'm sure some people could have been injured during the chaos. I guess the alarm must have disabled the elevators, so everyone had to grab their stuff and run down the stairs as quickly as possible. I can imagine all these elderly people going down so many flights of stairs. I don't think anyone was injured, but they did fire her and maybe they're still investigating. I don't know if it could help, but I'm gonna call that place and tell them what she told me and how she admitted to pulling the alarm on purpose. That will help my conscience out a lot. Like I said, I feel terrible about ignoring this stuff. You might think I'm an idiot or a terrible person myself. I don't know what to say, but when I really thought about this stuff, I decided I couldn't be with her. I know people will criticize me and that's fine. This is an update but also a confession TBH because I have to get that off my chest. And there's a bunch of other stories too that she told me or that I saw myself. I enjoyed her craziness TBH even though I was always on edge, but I thought of it as her being fun and spontaneous instead of sadistic. I guess I'm pretty weird myself. I responded to her texts this morning because she was starting to get angry and was sending a lot more texts. I told her I was really sick and thought she shouldn't be near me, but that we might be able to hang out again in a week or two. I said I wasn't mad at her anymore and I just didn't respond because I was sick. I just told her that to get her off my back and to give myself time to prepare for the breakup, because I don't know how she's gonna react and I want to be safe. For example, she has keys to my house and I'm living with other people including kids, so I want to change the locks and make sure we're not tied together in any other ways before I do an official breakup. Do you think that's a smart idea? I could use any advice on the best way to do a breakup in this situation because I'm kind of worried. Update 2. I sent a short text earlier today. I wasn't mean, I just said it wasn't working out and we should both move on. She was surprisingly very understanding. She was emotional at first, but I know, despite our differences, that she does love me. When she saw how I felt, and when we talked about it in more detail, she was convinced that the breakup was best for both of us. We talked on the phone and I could tell that her feelings were 100% genuine. I know her so well and I'm really gonna miss her. Before this conversation though, I did a bunch of stuff just in case something went wrong. I tried to change the locks, but I didn't want to tell my parents about this because I knew they'd get pissed at me. I couldn't do it without their permission. But now I see it was unnecessary to do it. I also told some friends what was going on, changed my passwords, and I tried to close one bank account that we both have access to. It didn't work, but whatever. It doesn't matter now anyway since she's being so good about all this. I'm so happy that it's over and that we won't have any major problems. She reminded me about an old Chromebook that she had left at my house. It's been there for months and I forgot all about it. That's the only valuable thing she has in this house, but she's gonna come over in an hour or two and pick it up, then we'll say our final goodbyes. While she's here she's gonna give me back the house key. I told her I needed it to give to a neighbor. I won't lie, I cried earlier today and I'm still very emotional. I know this is the right thing but it's so hard. I could have left the Chromebook outside the house or mailed it to her. Or whatever, but I want to see her one more time. I want to hug her again. She loves my little bro and he's always so excited to see her. I want her to make him laugh one more time. I just want a proper goodbye and to make sure we're on good terms. The last time I saw her in person I was furious and she was crying. I have ended the relationship. I won't go back now, but I can't leave it like it was. After today it'll be no contact. I'll update you when it's over just so you have the full story of exactly how it went. To address some other stuff, I mentioned in the last thread that I was gonna report her to her former workplace, for how she admitted to abusing those handicapped people and pulling the fire alarm. I decided against it because she's already been fired and I'm pretty sure the management of that place has moved on. I don't want to report her trying to push me off the cliff either because it might just make her seek revenge in some way. A lot of people wanted me to find the allergic person who she gave nuts to and file a report about that, but I don't even know that person's name. She might not have even told me but I don't remember anyway. I have a lot of incidents I could go to the police with. But honestly I'm so happy that our breakup will be smooth, and I don't want to make it worse. Maybe I'm selfish but at least for now I'm gonna avoid taking legal action. Also, in all honesty, I don't think she's too far gone. I think she can change and I hope she does change, and doesn't need to get in trouble to become a better person. I know she can do it because deep down she is a good person like we all are. What a crazy time in my life but I'm glad I got past it.